Hi everyone, it's Lisa. Welcome to A Proverbs Home. I hope you're doing good today or tonight or whenever you are watching this video, that you had a great day, whether it's at work or you had some appointments going on today or homemaking going on and things that you've been taking care of. And you're just taking out that moment to relax and enjoy the evening or your lunch break or whatever time of the day it is there for you where you live. Today is going to be a Q&A today, and I'm going to be answering some homemaking questions, and maybe this will also get you thinking. I'm also going to show you some things that I use when I'm homemaking. So let's get on with this video. Go on ahead, maybe get yourself a cup of tea and lay on back. This is the tea that I'm having. This is a Zinger tea, is lemon. It is so good. I'm going to show you the box. These are great teas, and I love to drink these. I love to buy them. This one is so good. This is the first time that I bought it was this month, and it's absolutely delicious tea. It's so good. I'm excited today to share with you answers to homemaking questions. I got these questions from interviewprep.org. I wanted to go on there and see what questions are they asking, and I wanted to answer those questions, but I also wanted to share them with you because I thought these are probably questions that all of us as homemakers can really think about and just kind of pick apart and see where we can improve, maybe where we can help each other with tips for homemaking, which is really great. So the first question I'm going to start with: how would you handle a situation where a family member has dietary restrictions? And that I can totally relate to because we've had dietary restrictions when it comes to procedures, it comes to any kind of surgery, dental work, any of that kind of stuff. We have had to have dietary restrictions. What we try to do, and my husband has done this ever since I've known him, and I do this too. We make sure we have everything we need before surgery, whether that means it's aspirin, painkillers, usually the doctors or whatever, if you have a procedure, they will assign to you medicines. Of course, you always want to check with your doctor, but I always have like the ibuprofen or the acetaminophen, having those things set aside, having the Jello and the soft foods like mashed potatoes and macaroni and cheese. I always research. If there's some kind of surgery, I always research what can we eat and what can we not eat. That's something that I always do because I think that's so important. And not only dietary needs, if someone is sick, having that broth and that chicken noodle soup, that's so important to have in your pantry anyway, to be prepped for if anyone is sick and you can make something quick that's warm. Because when people are nauseated, they don't want to eat heavy food and some smells in the home. I know when I'm nauseated and I'm not feeling good, I cannot smell like pork chop grease or anything like that. It just makes me even more nauseated. So we always try to plan around that kind of stuff if someone's sick. And we try to have meals like mashed potatoes and soups and things that are going to soothe us, right? Like that book, Chicken Noodle Soup for the Soul, right? Those things that are going to soothe us and not make the people in your house more sick. What if somebody is trying to lose weight or somebody wants to eat healthier? I think it's important to have the family kind of incorporate those meals with those who live in the household. So if somebody wants to like not eat cakes and desserts, maybe make desserts that are going to be healthy for everyone, that everybody's going to enjoy. One thing we really enjoy in our home, we love popcorn. We love popcorn. So I like to make a mixture of popcorn where I add raisins to our popcorn. Sometimes I'll add some chocolate chips to our popcorn. I'll just make it so much fun where it's actually delicious. We're getting a nice sweet snack, but it's not anything that's unhealthy. But if, your family, there's people in your family that want a piece of cake, then you can make something for those who want a cake. But for the most part, the most important thing is try to have healthy snacks for everyone. So everybody is joining in, and that person that's trying to eat healthy, they feel very supportive. Somebody asked me on here, why can't you eat sugar? It's not that I cannot eat sugar. I mean, I can have it, and once in a while I have a small amount, but I'm reducing my intake of sugar. For one, I had dental work, a lot of dental work done this year. And last year, I had dental work done. So I have to use wisdom in that. And I don't want to eat a bunch of sugar and candy all the time because it's not going to be good for my teeth, you know? So I can't do that. So, or it could be maybe a health reason. Maybe you're just trying to lose weight. You just want to be healthier. You just want to eat better. So incorporating foods that the whole family is going to enjoy. Getting those cookbooks that are about healthy cooking, but yet delicious cooking. That is a great way to meet those dietary needs. Sometimes it's not always because somebody had a procedure. Sometimes it's just because somebody wants to eat a lot better. And having those greens and those frozen, fruits and vegetables and smoothies. Kids love smoothies. Just incorporating things to meet the dietary needs of your family. One thing I do is like, let's say somebody can only eat mashed potatoes and I'm making meatloaf. So I make sure I make some mashed potatoes with some gravy where they can still enjoy those soft foods, but yet I'll make the meatloaf for the rest of the family that can eat the meatloaf. So those different things you can work around instead of making 3 different meals, and you can incorporate that into your homemaking dietary needs. So let's look at the next question, because I wrote them down and I wrote my answers down too because I thought about these. Okay. Can you explain your approach to budgeting for household expenses? One thing I do, I make sure I put money aside that is going to be just for my household expenses. I budget myself in that sense. I put the money aside that I know if I need to get cleaner for, I need, actually I have to get more detergent. I bought the Zote soap. I bought 2 of those. I've had them for a while already because I want to try to start making our own soap. So I want to try to start doing that with my husband when he has the time. So I did get the Zote soap to try to do that, but I haven't done anything with it. It is put away with my other stuff because I want to start making detergent where it's a lot cheaper and I'm saving money. Taking out money and putting $5 aside. Putting it in an envelope that's only for household expenses. Another thing, I don't throw away my change. I take my change and I put it aside and I use that change for things I need in the home. I even use that change if my husband and I during the summer want to run and get an ice cream. I do that, and it just saves you money. To take those quarters or dimes or whatever you have, you could even put them in those little roll things. I have a video that I actually made about a year ago, and I'm going to link it to this video that talks about how to save your change, how to roll it up, how to do that kind of stuff, take it to the bank and have that money, whether it's pennies or dimes. I know the dollar's not worth a whole lot right now. To be honest with you, it's not. But putting those dollars away and those quarters away and stuff, those things can be saved for household expenses, for whatever you need. I was mopping my kitchen the other day, and the mop at the bottom was rusted and it cracked in half. So I had to go out and get another mop. So I got another mop head. I needed to get it. This is actually a better one. And I needed it because I need to mop my bathroom, mop my kitchen floor. But if you have that little nest egg on the side, if you have a second income, that's a great thing to have as a second income. And that means working outside of your home. That's not what I meant. Besides working outside of your home, having that second income. That means maybe doing something from home on your computer that you get a little bit of change that comes in, a little bit of money that comes in. And you could take that money and you can pay your bills. You can put it towards something you need for your home. There's always different ways. Maybe you're a crafter and you make really nice crafts and you can sell those crafts, Maybe you can food and you can really nice food and you can let people know that what you can, and you can sell those canning goods, to people that may need them. So there's just so many things that you can do to make a little bit of money on the side and put your money away to save your money for your household needs. I'm sure many of you already do that and have the things that you need for your home. Okay, if you had to prepare a nutritious meal with limited ingredients, what would you cook and why? Okay, I will tell you. And I brought some stuff out of my pantry to show you. This is called the Chef's Cupboard Extra Noodle Soup. Now, they do have the Lipton ones. These come in little packages. And I love to make these. These are so good, especially on a cold day. I like to make these, and I like to add some frozen vegetables to it and some carrots. Have some nice crackers on the side or toast with butter. And it is so filling and it is so delicious. Simple and good. Why do I like it? Because it's warm. It's got the nutrition from the vegetables. And it's a very quick meal to eat and to make. So this is what I thought right away when I read that question. There's many other nutritious meals you can make. For the time of the Great Depression, there were people that would cook beans and have that on toast. It's still delicious. That's nutritious. You get a lot of protein. There are many things if you have to eat and you're hungry that you can make that are quick and delicious. I know many people knock down like don't buy canned food, but you know canned food can really help if you got a few cans of food that you have put to the side for an emergency. That can really help. I have open up a can of carrots, throw it in a pot of soup, throw it in something that I'm making, mashed potatoes with gravy, and it is delicious. There's always different things that you can make that are still nutritious, especially eggs. My mom used to make the soup, and she would crack an egg and put an egg inside, and it was so good. If you ever had wonton soup, it was so good. And I still do that sometimes if I'm in the mood for it. I'll crack an egg, and it's just delicious. Just a really good, nutritious meal to have. You can find this at Aldi, and they also have the Lipton one, which is great too, but that's the same thing. It's just cheaper. It's the same thing. Okay, so that's just, and I'm sure there's many other things. If you have any tips about nutritious meals that you cook that are quick, put them in the comments because I would love to read them. I like I said, for us to bounce ideas off each other. Okay, let's move on. Okay, we're going to skip that question. This is the one I wanted to share with you. How would you handle a situation where an unexpected guest arrives and you need to prepare a meal? I have been there. My mom has been there. But I remember growing up, if people came over, my mom cooked a meal. She always had something to serve. When my mother-in-law was alive, she always had something to give someone if they came over unexpectedly. I never remember anyone leaving my mother-in-law's home without something in their hand. Like, I have always remembered that, and I learned from my mom and my mother-in-law, watching them. Hi, Mom, if you're watching, I love you. Watching them be so hospitable. I never seen them turn anybody away or be rude. My mother-in-law was in one of those people. She just was one of those people. You could come over her house at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. Sometimes I felt really bad for her, you know, and she would cook something up. She would see what she could find. But, you know, when you have children living in the house and you have an early schedule, you have to get up early, it's always good to call. That's what I always say. It's always good to call and say, hey, I'm thinking about coming by. Now everybody has a cell phone. Are you home? Is it an appropriate time? If it's not, you can always tell them, I would love to see you. Would you come over this weekend or next weekend? Because I really want to spend time with you and I don't want to be rushed, and we'll have a delicious meal. Usually that makes people happy. But sometimes you have an unexpected guest and you don't want to ever make them feel uncomfortable. You want to make them feel comfortable. And it's easy to, if you're in the kitchen and you want to cook up something and you don't have, your chicken is frozen, you don't have time to start cooking up a meal at 7 o'clock at night. What you can do is just say, you know, I have a can of chicken. Would you love to share some chicken salad with me? I have some crackers. You can have a fruit salad. That's where those cans of fruit come in, where you could take fruit, mix it together. Remember the fruit cocktail? We survived on fruit cocktail. My mom made fruit cocktail all the time, and we survived on it. There are many different ways that you can throw things together. You can look at somebody and say, hey, you know, do you like, you know, chicken salad? I have some chicken salad with some crackers. Would you like to share that with me? Usually if they come a little late, they'll tell you, I've already eaten. And then you can maybe give them some tea or coffee. Have those things set out already on your coffee bar, on your counter, that when people do come over, if it is an unexpected visit, You have something to serve them. Always have crackers and cheese and things like that, that are quick meals that make something a quick snack that you can give somebody something. And I remember every household we went to, everybody my mom ever visited or visited us, they always served us something. My friend and I, my best friend, when we were in high school, sometimes we go to her grandmother's house. I loved going to her grandmother's house because she always had something on the stove. Always, if you went in the afternoon, her grandmother was cooking. In the morning, I had my old roommate in North Carolina. This was many years ago. Her grandmother, in the morning, we would go to her grandmother's house, and she had biscuits, she had bacon. Always, the counter had breakfast. She got up early. She was one of those people who rise early, go to sleep early. And she always had some great meals there for us to eat. Everybody was always fed. And, you know, I know we live in a different time, but we need to bring some of those old times back into our home. Some of those homemaking times back, making people feel comfortable. And like I said, my mother-in-law always sent somebody home with something. It was either leftovers, it was either chips out of the cupboard. She always went in the cabinets, look what she could find, and gave somebody something. Sometimes if we're having a get-together, my husband and I really don't drink soda, so we let them take it. We'll make sure we send leftovers home. Different things like that. And it makes people feel welcome. And if somebody that's coming over all the time without calling, and you're getting ready for bed, you have to go to work, you're on a doctor's schedule, different things, you just politely say to them, you know, I'm so glad when you come over and spend time with me, but look, this is a better date for me. It could be 2 weeks from now or something, or maybe next month. This would be better. Would you love to come over and I'll make sure I have a nice dinner prepared or lunch or something. You know, BLTs are great to make if somebody comes over. I wrote some things down, and BLTs were one of those that are delicious. Fruit salad and crackers and some tuna or chicken salad. They're very easy to put together and to make. I'll show you this one thing that I got, and then I'm going to say goodbye. The Continental Chef Onion Soup and Dip Mix. This is really good. I'm actually making meatloaf tonight, and I put a packet of this in the meatloaf, and it is delicious. So these kind of things are great for prepping, to have prep, to have in your cupboards, to have ready for when people come over. Quick things to put together that would be delicious. And most of all, being a great homemaker, doing it with all the love in your heart and enjoying what you're doing. And if you have any ideas, I would love to hear them. I would love you to bounce those off of me so I can write them down and I can try those and implement them if they're suitable for my home. So God bless everyone. Thank you for joining me today. Thank you for having your tea and being here on this Homemakers Q&A. And remember, I got these questions from interviewprep.org. If you're interested, check out those questions and look at them, and maybe you want to write some things down, and maybe this will help you a little bit with organization and just preparing your home and meeting the needs of your loved ones. God bless everyone, and I'll talk to you soon.